In the headlines, Abuja police burst criminal hideout, ban local wrestling arenas. 4 killed in renewed attacks on villages in Bassa local government area of Plateau State. Newlywed slaughters husband in Mina. On the foreign scene, Ghana celebrates return of stolen artifacts. Hello there, good evening and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. Right, we begin in Abuja, where in a bid to ensure safety of lives and properties of FCT residents, the FCT Police Command has implemented a ban on illegal local wrestling houses, commonly known as Gidan Dambe. Noel Samson reports on the decision as a security measure in the nation's capital.
The FCT Commissioner of Police announced the ban while parading 297 men and 40 women who were apprehended from illegal wrestling arenas. They were found in possession of firearms, phones, drugs, and other dangerous weapons.
I told you that in our pledge to make sure FCT is cleansed and have a peaceful environment, our int has taken us to an area in Zuba where the kidnappers used to come from their camp. So we are going to screen them. You can see the items, the motorcycle. We recovered them. We made sure that none escaped. I want to use this medium to warn those people that illegally, because no person gave you any license, to operate, whether you call it Gidan Dambe or Gidan Drama. You better start now, because you cannot remain in FCT. We are going to ensure we are cleansed from here. We are taking all of them to court so that they will face the law.
The commissioner also seized the opportunity to discuss recent events since assuming office as the 31st FCT Commissioner of Police.
I don't need to start counting the success, because why I don't want to count the success is because we are with them. We know what we are doing, what we want to ensure. We have blocked kidnappers' route. We don't care how we block it. It's a success. We have returned a lot of villages back to their communities with the village heads. We have done so. We have equally ensured that there is no further kidnapping in FCT. It's a success to us. All these ones we will ensure they will not thrive. We have arrested one chance, many of them. They call them one chance, but they are robbers. As at yesterday, in Utako, we arrested almost 5 or 6 of them. So we'll continue.
Additionally, the command reaffirmed its dedication to maintaining the safety of FCT residents. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in the ongoing battle against banditry in Katsina State, villagers face heightened attacks, compelling residents to abandon their homes for urban safety. Jamil Mabai brings us the story of the deserted community of Bauje in Kurfi local government area, where it echoes of birds replacing the bustling sounds of its former inhabitants. His report.
Bauje, once bustling with life, now echoes with solitude. Residents fled after ominous warnings from the bandits, leaving behind vacant homes and memories. Situated just minutes away from Krofi local government and a short drive to Katsina's capital, Bauje's proximity belies its vulnerability.
We were forced by the bandits to leave our village. They came 4 times and kidnapped one of our daughters. They collected our phones and want us to vacate, otherwise they will seize our farms.
Under the cover of darkness, armed bandits infiltrate homes, leaving families traumatized and bereft of their belongings.
I was sleeping when the bandit forced the door opened, flashed his lights towards my face. He collected my phone and locked me inside my room.
sai kulle ne bani cike ce kada in sake
and ransacked my livestock.
dabbobin da ke wajen kawai sai kora sai tafiya su.
Forced into exile, Dahiro and the fellow villagers seek sanctuary in Korfi local government.
Na kanina ne nan da
This is where we kept our livestock and they stole everything.
Their agrarian and pastoral pursuit disrupted.
This is how we live in the forest. We farm and rear animals.
They grapple with economic devastation amidst insecurity. These assaults not only disrupt livelihoods, but also instill profound unease among long-established residents.
We are trying our best to bring lasting peace in the state, and we will continue to put our best so that we will have a peaceful state. So we are giving them this assurance that government is always out to protect lives and properties of our citizens.
With trepidation gripping Bauje, its residents yearn for swift intervention to reclaim the tranquility stolen by banditry. Jamil Mabay, Trust TV, Katsina.
Now, no fewer than 4 persons were reportedly killed with 2 others injured during an attack in Kenza village in Miango district of Rigwe Chiefdom in Basa local government area of Plateau State. The spokesperson of Operation Safe Haven, Captain Oya James, while confirming the incident, says the timely response of the troops made the attackers flee the community. The publicity secretary of Irigwe Development Association, Davidson Mallison, while narrating the incident on Monday, says 3 persons were killed on Sunday night, while another was killed on Saturday. A little earlier, we spoke to Daily Trust reporter in Jos, Ado Musa, who gave us an update on the recent development.
The spokesperson of Operation Safe Haven, Captain Oya James, told me this morning that soon after the receipt of the attack, the command has deployed a good number of troops to restore law and order in the affected community. Even though the spokesperson of Irigwe Development Association said that the people of the affected community are still living in fear because they are afraid that a similar attack may be launched. He also confirmed to me that the deceased have been buried since morning. He called on the security agencies to ensure the arrest of the perpetrators of the dastardly act.
After a tragic news development, a 20-year-old newlywed bride in Nasarawa village in Lapai local government area of Niger State has reportedly killed her husband. Reports from residents in the area say the incident happened at around 1 a.m. on Monday when residents were fast asleep. According to multiple sources, the couple who got married recently back in December of 2023 had a misunderstanding in the evening of Sunday, adding that they were later reconciled before going to bed. The source say the wife first stabbed the husband on his chest before proceeding to stab him severally until he later died. Asked if he was forced marriage, sources say the couple had been in a relationship for years, noting, however, that before the wedding was fixed, she had a change of heart and wanted to marry someone else. Elsewhere, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Monday opened its case in the trial of the suspended Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, on procurement fraud in an FCT High Court in Abuja. The anti-graft agency had accused Emefiele of criminal conspiracy, conferring undue advantage and breach of trust, among others, all of which the former central bank governor has denied on Friday. Emefiele was previously charged with 6 counts and first arraigned on 28th of November 2023 before the EFCC filed the amended charges necessitating a rearrangement. He pleaded not guilty to the charge when it was read to him in court. The EFCC's first witness, Onyeka Ogbu, a deputy director in the Central Bank of Nigeria branch of operations, while led in evidence by EFCC lawyer Rotimi Oyedepo SAN, says $6.2 million was kept aside for international election observers. He prayed for the matter to be stood down to enable him get more documents in the matter. But the former CBN governor's lawyer, Matthew Burka SAN, refused the prayer of the prosecution, saying an adjournment would be better for the prosecution to get all the certified true copies and also for the witness to be cross-examined. Nurses under the aegis of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Abuja chapter, on Monday protested against the new verification certification guidelines released by the Nigeria and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. The nurses expressed displeasure over what they described as an attempt to hinder their freedom to pursue career opportunities, asking the council to address nurses' welfare, salary scale, shortage of staff, and other rights. The protest was carried out at the NMCN's office in Abuja. The council had on February 7, 2024, issued a circular revising the guidelines for requesting verification of certificates for nurses and midwives. Meanwhile, the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria has said that the new certificate verification guideline for nurses is in the best interest of the nation. Recall that nurses under the aegis of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Abuja chapter, on Monday protested against the new verification certification guidelines released by the council. The nurses expressed displeasure over what they describe as an attempt to hinder their freedom to pursue career opportunities, asking the council to address nurses' welfare, salary scale, shortage of staff, and other rights. The protest was carried out at the headquarters of the council in Abuja. Now, the NCN had issued the guidelines saying it is, quote, in favor of the nation's healthcare system. The circular, signed by the registrar of the council, Farouk Abubakar, among other things, says a non-refundable fee per application shall be paid for verification to foreign boards of nursing as specified on the portal, which shall cover the cost of courier service to the applicant's institution of training, place of work, and foreign board. In other news, the Taraba State Governor, Abu Kefas, has approved the distribution of ambulances to each of the 168 wards across the 16 local government areas of Taraba State. The State Commissioner for Health, Borodia Buruma, disclosed this during a meeting with local government council chairman in Jalingo. Buruma says the ambulances, when distributed, will improve healthcare delivery at the grassroots level. Similarly, the governor says plans are on to upgrade the Dambaba Suntai Airport in Jalingo. The governor also disclosed 2 airports in Suntai and Takum, saying that they will also be upgraded to receive flights. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still to come, we'll tell you the story of Sabiu and his drive to create employment opportunities for others through skill acquisition. More on this and many other stories coming up ahead after the break. Welcome back to the news. Let's take another look at the top stories. Abuja police burst criminal hideout, ban local wrestling arena as the police arrest 307 suspects. 4 persons reportedly killed in renewed attacks across villages in Basa local government area of Plateau State. Now, the divisional police headquarters in Nasarawa local government area of Kano State was on Monday morning gutted by fire, which left a significant portion of the building completely engulfed in flames. Despite the swift response of the State Fire Service, the raging fire left in its wake a scene of destruction. Police Commissioner in Kano State, Hussein Gumel, while addressing journalists on the inferno, said a major part of the building was completely burnt down. The area surrounding the affected headquarters has been cordoned off to deter interference from bystanders and potential miscreants in the area. In light of concerns regarding the safety of firearms and ammunition housed within the headquarters, the Commissioner of Police assured the public that arms and ammunition in the office are safe. He says efforts are underway to salvage important documents, with the divisional police officer actively engaged in the retrieval process. Now, amidst widespread outcry over the ramifications of fuel subsidy removal, including business closures and job losses, 27-year-old self-taught electrical engineer Sabiu Saidu of Gombe State remains resolute in his mission to generate employment opportunities for youth. Saidu believes that imparting his skills to apprentices represents his most significant contribution towards curbing unemployment and fostering economic growth in Nigeria. Hassan Koli brings us his story.
Specialized in the repair of electrical appliances, Sabiu Saidu, a 27-year-old self-taught electrical engineer, is determined to pass on his skills to apprentices as part of his vision to empower the youth of his community. Despite facing challenges, Saidu's passion for electrical engineering drove him to self-educate and master the craft. I can fabricate different lighting systems, convert electrical appliances from using batteries to rechargeable ones, repair phones, and even create earpieces. I am indeed helping people here with my skills. For instance, commercial charging shops usually face huge damages from generators or electricity due to the power fluctuations. So we are helping them repair dozens of chargers. It is part of our contribution to saving businesses in Gombe, because most of them cannot afford to buy new chargers and continue with the business. Sabiu's initiative has already started to bear fruit, as several of his apprentices have started their own small businesses and earning a living from them. There are now 4 apprentices who solely rely on this business, and I am happy they made it because they are taking on their own responsibilities and helping their parents. To create more employment opportunities, I still intend to employ more apprentices and teach them such skills so that they can also open their own and teach others too. Sabiu believed that teaching apprentices his valuable skills will open doors of employment and entrepreneurship, which will go a long way in reducing unemployment in Nigeria. According to National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's unemployment rate rose from 4.1% in first quarter of 2023 to 4.2% in the second quarter of 2023. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
The Federal High Court, sitting in Kano and presided over by Justice Muhammad Nasir Sunusi, has refused the application of a Kano-based musician, Abdul Kamal, to stop the Hausa service of the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, from using his soundtrack without his consent. The court says since it has the discretion of the court to allow or to stop the media from the use of the soundtrack, it held that the application for interim order lacked merit. The court instead ordered an accelerated hearing on the substantive suit. Kamal had sued the BBC Hausa service for using his soundtrack in their popular program, Nagabakin Me Ita, without his consent. Now, the presiding judge, Justice Muhammad Nasir Yunusa, asked the parties involved in the case to confirm responses before adjourning the matter to March 20, 2024. On the international scene, Ghana has been buzzing over the return of its stolen antiques by a U.S. museum on February 8. The looted Ashanti royal regalia and other objects are returning to their original place, the Mahia Palace, after 150 years, a sharp reminder of colonial-era appropriations. Being symbols that connect the people to their heritage, the items were welcomed with rituals and ceremonies. The return is viewed as both a healing process and a chance for economic growth through tourism. Experts predict that the return will ignite a global debate and inspire others to evaluate the source of their holdings. With more of the antiques expected in the coming months, Ghana, particularly the Ashanti Kingdom, is eager to restore its past and prestige.
I'm here at the Black Star Square in Accra, Ghana, a country buzzing over the return of its stolen antiques by a U.S. museum. The looted Asante royal regalia and objects by the British are returning to their original place, the Mancha Palace, after 150 years, a sharp reminder of colonial-era appropriations. Reclaiming a culture narrative is at stake here, and the response has been highly sentimental. Being symbols that connect the people to their heritage, the items were welcomed with rituals and ceremonies. The return is viewed as both a healing process and a chance for economic growth through tourism.
Well, surely good for Ghana there. That's it on the news update at this hour. Thank you most kindly for joining us. Feel free, as always, to follow us across our social media platforms to catch up with more content. Do take a look at our website, trusttv.com, for the latest news. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for your time. We'll see you soon.